So welcome to our first video by Hugs and Cookies XOXO. Today we're going to be making some chocolate raspberry bars that are really easy to make and quite scrumptious. So my little helper is going to point out our ingredients to you. Today we're going to need 2 sticks of butter first, and then we're going to be using a half a cup of brown sugar, and that's packed in the cup. We have 2 cups of flour that we've already measured out. We'll be needing 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, as you can see. We'll be using a 1/3 cup of raspberry jam, and we're using it with seeds, but you can feel free to buy seedless. And our final ingredient will be 2 cups of chocolate chips, and we're using the Ghirardelli chocolate chips because they're pretty good. So we'll be back to show you what we're doing. So now we're ready to line our 13 by 9 inch pan with non-stick foil, and here's a little trick. You take the foil on the opposite side, not the non-stick side, and my little helper is going to hold the video camera for us. Hold that nice and still. And we're just going to fit it on the pan like that. And then when we remove it and flip the pan over, it's a perfect fit inside with the non-stick side now facing us, ready for the goodies to go in. Okay, so now we're ready to beat our butter with our brown sugar, which is going to lock the mixer. And turn that on. And we'll beat that till it's nice and creamy. So now we're just going to scrape down the sides, getting all the goodies off the side of the bowl. And we will be ready to add our flour. Now we're adding our 2 cups of flour and just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to put the mixer back on and blend that all up. So when it's done being beaten, it should look like this, like nice large crumbs. And we're going to take about 1 3/4 cups and spread it into the bottom of our pan that we've lined with the non-stick foil. So there is our batter all stuck into our pan now. Warning, it is a little sticky, but if you'd like to flour your hands a bit, it makes the job a little bit easier. We're going to pop this in the oven now at 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes until it starts to turn light golden brown. We just opened our sweetened condensed milk can, and we used our Pampered Chef can opener. And if you've never used this one, you should really check it out because look how cool the edges are. No sharp edges on the can, the way that it opens it. So it's nice and safe when your little ones are helping you, like mine is. So we are going to get started on our filling for our chocolate raspberry bars. Yeah. We're pouring all of our sweetened condensed milk into our microwave safe bowl. So you want to make sure you get all of that yumminess out of your can. And then my little helper is going to add our 1 cup of chocolate chips. We have 2 altogether, but we're only adding 1 cup of chips right now for the microwave, and we'll use the other cup a little bit later on. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave and stir it up so it's nice and smooth. Here's our golden crust, and we've microwaved the chocolate chips with the sweetened condensed milk, and we're just going to pour that right onto our hot crust. And then we'll spread that around. And that will get topped with the reserved crumbs, the raspberry jam, and also the extra chocolate chips. And we'll be back to show you what that's going to look like. Bars are topped off with the extra crumbs and the raspberry jam. And to put the raspberry jam on, I like to use a little ice cream scoop. Just makes it a little neater and a little more even. And now we'll just sprinkle on our reserved 1 cup of chocolate chips. And then this is going to head back into the oven for about 25 minutes. Here they are, piping hot out of the oven.
Yum, yum,
And
yum,
now
yum.
they're going to be popped into the freezer to cool off really fast. So here are our squares. They are all cut up and ready for some nice munching. And let me show you a closer view of some of these. You can see the thick layer of raspberry jam and the nice chocolate inside from the sweetened condensed milk and the chocolate chips. Any of the bars that you don't want to eat right away, you can store away in a Ziploc safe freezer bag, and you can pull them out at a later date. Thanks so much for watching my first Hugs and Cookies XOXO video. Hope to see you over on my website for this recipe and many others.